long have you been volunteering for Rosie's?
I started back in last December, and I came with the group, the vegan group that they organized a volunteer day, and came here and I loved it, and I asked Jason if he needed more volunteers, so he told me that yes, just tell me when you can come. So I've been coming every weekend since then.
What brings you to volunteer for this kind of an operation to begin with?
Well, I love animals. I always love to help them and support the causes like organizations or shelters, anything or anyone who's helping them in any way. And this was just a great way to be hands-on, like volunteering, like not just to be with the animals, but also like help out with cleaning and everything they need here. So it's just a great way to spend time with them and feel like you're doing something for the animals.
When did you first get interested in just animal issues to begin with?
I think I've always been interested in that. Like since I was a little girl, I loved animals since I was little, and it wasn't until I'm originally from Colombia. So when I came here, I mean my love for animals continued, but it wasn't until like I'm gonna say maybe 7 or 8 years ago that I started like becoming vegan and started getting interested in being a vegetarian and actually aligning my beliefs with the way I live, the way I eat, the things I buy. And I became more aware of all the issues surrounding like animal exploitation, like not just like, because the first thing you think about animals is like we eat them, but we also use them for like the pharmaceutical industry, for like cosmetics, for like clothing, and you start getting aware like, oh my god, they're being used for all these other things, so I need to adjust the way I live and the things I buy in order to feel that I'm at least not contributing to that exploitation.
Sure.
And the more I started being aware of these problems, I started finding out like there's shelters and sanctuaries that actually rescue farm animals. Because the first thing you think about like shelters is like dogs and cats, but there's also places like this where they save cows, sheep, goats that I wasn't aware of until I became more interested in that aspect of animal rights. So when I found this place, I thought this was a great opportunity to contribute and help out.
What brings you to volunteer here at Rosie Sanctuary?
Well, I would say there are 2 reasons. Number one is a selfish reason because I love being with animals. But number 2, I think is anything, well, it's a nonprofit and they need the help caring for the animals. I mean, animal sanctuaries like this are really useful for showing people that animals are friends and not food, and making that connection to the food that they might eat. So I want to help them survive.
And how long have you been interested in animal issues?
For about 15 years. I've been vegan for the animals for about 15 years. I used to do a lot more activism, protests.
What other types of organizations have you worked for as part of, involvement with animal rights?
Oh, well, I'm from Georgia, so I used to be a regular volunteer at an animal sanctuary down there. I've done a lot of leafleting, like for the Humane League.
Sure.
I'm a diehard PETA supporter. I do a lot for PETA.
Okay.
I give money, I give time, my whole life. If I could quit my job and just do it full time, I would.
What brings you to volunteer for places like Rosie Sanctuary?
For the love of the animals.
Okay.
There's no words. You know how when people say they love volunteer for children or volunteer to help the handicapped or the syndrome for the kids, which is a beautiful thing. But I also do this because I love animals, and they've been here before us, with us, and they should be after us. And who are we to take their lives saying that we're very special? And just because we're human beings. As you see, look how screwed up this world is because of how humans are destroying planet Earth. And it's getting worse and worse, and if we don't do nothing about it, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So that's why.
And what kind of value do you see for places like Rosie Sanctuary?
The value that I see is the people surrounded, the environment, being outdoor, the nature, But most of all, it's just that, when these animals, they appreciate it. They have a different language, but they speak the language of love. They don't have to have the words like us human beings. So the value of bringing together the community, seeing Jason, all these wonderful people, Michelle that I met too, and it's wonderful, and it's fantastic how we come together. Doesn't matter the quantity, it can be like 50, 100 people, even 20 volunteers, as long as we come and give it back to the animals, to the sanctuary, say thank you so much for this. Without this, I don't know where we would be.
Right. And how long have you been doing work for animal causes?
Ooh. Well, let's see. Since I lived in New York City for 31 years, and as you know, Tim, New York City is the #1 city of the United States of veganism, of restaurants, the population. And over there, sanctuary is very rare. So I started in New Jersey, okay, at Tamerlane. Jason knows it. I believe it's like 4 years ago, because I don't have a car in New York City. I've been doing it since almost every month here at the sanctuary. I think there's another one called Polesville, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I go there a lot too. So it's fantastic to share my experience, to share the experience. We come together, we learn, and it's just unbelievable. It's unconditional love. That's how I see it.